So yeah, we've got a few people on now, so we'll probably just start, if that's okay. Yeah. So first we've got Santa sacks, as you can see there. Just check that's okay. Yeah, Santa sacks. I've printed two options. So this one's in poly velvet, and then this one's in cotton Panama, which cotton Panama is what we tend to use usually for like tea towels, oven gloves and aprons. This is probably our most common type of fabric. Most people tend to use this. Poly velvet is, you know, still just as lovely. It's got that soft finish. We tend to use poly velvet more for sort of cushions, piped cushions. Sorry, I'm just going to mute this. Okay. So yeah, we tend to use these for like cushions, piped cushions, that sort of thing, or sometimes like a wash bag it works quite nice for. So we've just thought, you know, a Santa sack it'd work quite nice with it being soft and, you know, more of a wintry feel to it. Inside, so for both the cotton and the cotton and the poly velvet, we've sort of suggested a poplin lining, so you can see that there. This is 100% cotton. It's just, you know, a bit of a lighter weight fabric. You know, I'll just pull it out now so you can see it in its full way. And it just means if you have a lining, you can fully customise it. So you could have, because it's printed in 4 panels, so a panel for the front on the outer and a panel on the back on the outer, and then the same for the lining. In theory, you could have 4 different designs, and it's just a nice way to customise it to exactly as you want it to be, and using as many, you know, different designs if that's the way your designs are, like nice and colourful, or, you know, similar vibes but on the same sack, so it's just nice really. The reason why I printed one on cotton Panama and one on poly velvet was just so you could see there's not a vast colour difference between, sorry, one of those is upside down, between the cotton Panama and the poly velvet. So you can see, you know, it's slightly more not as vibrant as the Panama, but that's because it's using different inks and it's on a different fabric. But you can see that, you know, it's not that vastly different, so there's no reason why, you know, one is better than the other. It's just what you prefer and what sort of goes more in line with your brand really. With the Santa sacks, there's a few different options on the cord. So you could have, well, there's 2 options, black or white. And we tend to just knot them at the end, and we trim them right down so they're not as, you know, not as furry at the end. But yeah, they don't like catch when we pull them, so that's quite nice. And I'll just do the same for the poly velvet one, just so you can see. Yeah. So yeah, it's just quite lovely really. Just see if we've got any questions. What sizes are the Santa sacks? So they're printed at 50 centimetres wide by 75 tall. Now that is the same size as our, well, I'm pretty sure that's the size, you just add consent templates over, but I'm 99% sure that's the size of them. But we print them the same size as the tea towel panels. But when they get sewn, obviously you do lose a few centimetres each side, and then you do lose a bit as well that's folded around the top. So sort of, I don't know, approx 45 by 65, really roughly. But we have got templates which we can send over, which does sort of have the guidelines on you know, where the sewing line is going to go through, what's going to be lost, and what you're going to actually see on the front of that panel. So yeah, we've got those templates to send over whenever you want them really, the PDFs, so it should be pretty easy to work with. So yeah, I think that answers that question. I'm trying to think of anything else with Santa sacks. These designs, by the way, these are off Pattern Design, which is on our website. So what it is, so the designs to customers are free, so you can, if you saw something that you particularly liked on our website, a pattern design, we can go in and download that for you, and then use that on whichever products you want, because we pay a subscription for it so that customers can can easily have designs that they can use. So yeah, so we've got 2 questions. What's the minimum order quantity of the sacks? So it's a minimum order quantity of 30. Within that 30, you can do 2 designs of 15. So, you know, you can do 2 designs in there. You're not dead set on having, you know, 30 of one design. What was the other question? So yeah, can you order multiple designs? Yes, you can. Something that some people have been a little bit confused on, and this is across all products, on our price list where it says minimum order quantity of say 30, minimum of 15 per design, on the bit underneath where it says the multiples what we print in, so for example, sacks would be 3. What that is when we go ahead to print, because we print directly from customers' designs, tile them across the width of the fabric and then print however many rows which is needed. The multiples is how many fit across the width of the cloth. So if you imagine a 1.5 metre wide roll of fabric, you'd fit 3 of them across. So from that's why we say multiples of 3. So if you're going to order, say, above 15 per design, you couldn't order like 17 or 19, it'd have to be 18 or 21. So that's what that means basically, and that's the same across all products. So for example, you know, oven gloves, we print in 7s, and that's because we fit 7 oven glove bodies across the width of the cloth. So that's what that is. I know it's quite hard to explain sometimes, it's a little bit difficult to understand from our price list. Let me see if we've got any other questions. Don't think we have. I think we're all up to date on the questions. Very cool designs, thank you. Like I said, just have a look on the pattern design. There's loads of different things on there. So what it is, when you go on, there's like different categories. So there's like festive ones or like different seasonal ones, and lots of different things. There's literally something for everyone. So I think if anyone's, how much are they? So what it is, I can get some price if you pop us an email over, because there's different pricing for different sort of fabrics. So, you know, there's a different pricing model, whether you wanted lining or if you didn't want lining, or, you know, the different fabrics. So if you pop us an email over, our email's in the link tree in our Instagram bio, we can get back to you with prices, and we can send templates too, and all that sort of information, and we can just get an email trail started. So that's that. Lead time. So at the minute, what we're sort of advising is samples are at 2 weeks. So any sort of Christmas designs or anything like that, we're really saying just get your orders in as soon as you can. And that just gives us, you know, a lot of time to be able to get the samples done within the 2 weeks, but then it gives you time to then be able to tweak your designs if you want to, and then if you wanted to go ahead and order a bulk order, we're sort of at between 4 to 5 weeks at the minute. But things do start to pick up, you know, quite rapidly with Christmas. So we tend to just say the sooner you can get the ball rolling, the better, because it just means there's less stress in like the lead up to Christmas. And, you know, I know it's only August now, but it does seem like fly by. They're available now, so we've got the templates ready to go. You just pop your artwork on the template as you'd like it to be, and we can get sampling. You can order these all year round. We've done these for a few years now, but we probably just haven't shouted about them enough, and haven't said, you know, this is something that we can do. So we're just sort of taking the time now just to show everybody, you know, there is different options out there, and it's, you know, there's more things that you can do. What other prints can you give us a close look? Of course. Right, I'll just, don't know, can you, is that, yeah. So it says Merry Christmas on that one, and it's got a few like festive prints on there. I've got a few other things as well, which we'll get on to. So I've got placemats, napkins, table runners and tablecloths, and they've all got different festive prints on, and they're all from pattern design as well, so that'll give you a good idea of, you know, different things that they've got on there. Yeah, so I think we're happy to move on to stockings now. So I'll pop these to one side, and if anybody wants me to show them again, just pop a message in the comments and I can get that sorted. Okay. So these are Christmas stockings, so I'll hold them up. This one's made in poly velvet. So it's the same as the Santa sack. So it's the same idea applies really, where I've done one in cotton Panama and made one in poly velvet as well, just to show you the difference really. But show you that there's not much colour difference, but there's different options out there on, you know, different fabrics that you can use. So the same thing applies really, where we suggest in poplin lining, just because it's a little bit more movable, you know. So you can see there, that's the poplin lining. So the same thing applies really. So you could have a different print there, a different print there, a different design on the cuff if you really wanted to, and then one on the lining as well. So it's totally customizable. There's not a single part of this item where it's plain white. It's everything, you could have a print on it, which I think is quite nice. Yeah, so I'll just put it all back together. The reason why we suggest poplin is because as I'm putting this back together now, if you had a thick fabric, say, I don't know, as much as it works with having cotton Panama on, and it looks lovely, we just find it easier with the poplin. The reason why we thought of that is because obviously with us making everything in-house, when it came to the packaging department, the girls were saying, oh, you know, looks lovely, the cotton Panama does, but it's much easier pushing it back in with a poplin. So it kind of just depends, you know, what you're selling it as and what it's going to be. So yeah, that's that. In terms of the loops, these are 100% cotton. This is actually the same loop. This is the same tape which we use for aprons. So this can either be in black, white or natural. And it's just, you know, you can just hang them up. And again, we've got templates for all of these. It comes in templates, so it's all broken down into individual panels of the front, the back, one long rectangle for the cuff, and then two separate templates for the lining either side. So like I said, you can fully customise it if you wanted to. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else to say on Santa stockings, if anyone's got any questions. So we just got one here now. Do I send you my preferences? Yeah, so our website currently, so ordering on the website, you can the products that you can order are our core products, so like tea towels, oven gloves, tote bags, makeup bags, those products which we've done for quite a while now, they're orderable on our website. Anything bespoke, which we're classing these products as bespoke just because it's not something we've done for a while, it's something that we've newly developed, and you know, just to understand what demand would be like. They're not yet orderable on our website, so if you just pop an email over, emails in our link tree on the Instagram bio, they're orderable that way. So how it will work is we'll send you templates. You then pop your designs on the templates, or if you're having problems with the artwork, just let us know. Someone from our artwork team can help. From that, if you wanted to go ahead and sample, that's absolutely fine. We'd raise an invoice from that. Or if you wanted to go ahead with bulk, we'd raise an invoice from the email as well. So it's a pretty easy process, and we're here, you know, every step of the way to help, because I appreciate it's new products for everyone. So, you know, sometimes you just need a little bit of help to understand what works well, what might not quite work, and you know, that's why we're here to help really. So I think that answers that question. Lovely. I think if that's okay with everybody, we'll move on to the tableware items. If anyone's got any other questions, just let us know. Hang on for a moment. Feels weird talking about Christmas items in August. Right, so I don't think there's any more questions. Lovely. So moving on to a slightly different thing is we've got the tableware items. So what we're going to be discussing is placemats, little napkins, table runners, and then tablecloths too. So all of these are sort of bespoke items. The only the one that's like sort of really new to us is this placemat. So what it is, how in which we sort of came on to doing this is we thought, oh, you know, placemats would be a really good idea, but we'd want them to be a little bit thicker than just like, say, the thickness of a tea towel. So what we thought we'd do is we cut panels out of Panama and then sewed them back to back and then folded them the other way through and then just sewed this, sort of, if you can see, it's got like a line of stitch in there. We just like sewed it around the edges and it's just made it like a little bit more rigid and just a little bit more durable really. And then from that, you know, if you think about it, you could have a different print like front and back. So you could have, you know, one design on the front, one design on the back, and really it's like two different placemats, but just one. So yeah, that's quite nice. We're quite open to sizing of these. We do. Sorry, you can probably just hear the dishwasher going off in the background. Yeah, so we've got different sizes of these. So we're quite dependent on what sort of size you required. We can advise you on different sizes. So I think this is something like, I want to say a 30 by 45, but I might be wrong. That's centimetres, by the way. So yeah, if you did need help on us drawing a template up to the size in which you required, that's absolutely fine. We can get that sorted. So yeah, that's that. I'll just quickly go over the products because then there's a few different finishes which we could apply to the tableware, which I think will be quite interesting. Again, this is all designs from Pattern Design. This is the napkin. So as you can see, this is just like an all over repeat, so it's like multi-directional. And it's just quite a nice design really. We've got templates for these. This is made out of 100% cotton Panama, as of all of these tableware products, but there's no reason you couldn't do different fabrics. So you could do, you know, you could do linens if you wanted to, you could do satins, you could do all sorts of stuff. So we've just got a few questions. Same minimum order quantity as sacks. So yeah, sorry, I forgot to say, for the stockings, sorry to be confusing, stockings and sacks, both a minimum order quantity of 30, minimum of 15 per design. So that's something to just bear in mind. So nothing too drastic to commit to. And you know, you could always, with it only being August now, like you could do a sample now, and then if you want to do a bulk order, just order 30, see how it goes. And if you wanted to do a top-up order, that's, you know, that's something we could do. Because we don't sort of close off for Christmas, like it just carries on. So there's no reason why. Because I know some companies, like at a certain point, they stop taking orders. We've just never really done that. So, you know, kind of opens the options up really. Love the new placemats, thank you. Are the placemats wipeable? Right, because these are made in the same fabric as the tea towels, so they're 100% cotton Panama. They're not wipeable, but they're washable. So it's got the same washing instructions. So wash at 40, cool, tumble drying, iron. Well, I was going to say iron on the reverse, but just iron any of the sides. So yeah, washable, but not wipeable. But something that we have been developing, which I will go on to in a second, is a fluorocarbon finish, which will kind of feed more into that. So I will get onto that in a second if you don't mind. So yeah, with the napkins, on the reverse of these are just hemmed as a tea towel would be, or an apron. It's just like a standard fold over hem. You know, we can help with the packaging if you wanted to. If you wanted to just package them in like say 4s with like a nice belly band wrap around, that's absolutely fine. You just need to let us know at the time of ordering that you required like a special packaging, but it's not a problem at all. That's why we're here. That's why we've got a packing team to just help with all those sort of things really. Any other questions? Yeah, I think we're up to date on questions. The other thing which I want to show is a table runner. So I'll open it out the best I can. It's pretty long. I'll just fold it in half, so just keep it like that. It's actually obviously double the length of that. sort of a size which the thing with table runners is we don't have a set size. We've always just worked off what people have suggested. So someone will email and say, well, can you give me a price for, I don't know, 35 by 200, and then we'll just, you know, do the maths and get a quote across. But something I've been sort of suggesting recently, just because I had a look online and I noticed that quite a few places were doing sizes of 40 by 250 centimetres, and I thought that must be quite a popular size. So I've been quoting based off that, and I can, you know, if you just pop us an email over, I can get all this price and information sent across. Or if there was like a bespoke size that you wanted, if you had like a particular table in mind, that's fine. Just let me know the sizes and I can get a quote across. So the way these are sewn, it's just a standard fold over hem. Like I said, you can customise the fabrics of these. So you could do, I don't know, like a linen, which might be quite nice, or I don't know, a poplin if you wanted something a little bit lighter in weight, or a warp satin if you wanted a bit more of like a sheen to it. It really just depends what you had in mind. Obviously we can advise on what suitabilities for different fabrics and how colours might shift across different fabrics. And we can do Pantone charts as well on different fabrics so you can see how colours react on different bases. But all of our fabrics, apart from the poly velvet and the poly Albany, they're all 100% cotton. So, you know, we've got the certification for all those sort of things as well, which is quite nice. So yeah, table runners, it's not just a festive item either. Table runners are like all year round. So you could, like, I think people just tend to go a bit crazy at Christmas and everyone just, you know, decorates everything to the max. So why not like sample a table runner, see what the demand is, possibly put a Christmas order in, see how your customers react, and then, you know, moving forward next year, you could possibly think about bringing like a summer range out based on how people reacted at Christmas, or, you know, something like that. It's something to keep in mind. So that's that. We've got any questions? What's the minimum order quantity on runners? So, because it depends on what size you know required. So say if, when I explained earlier about the multiples which we print in, say if we can fit 4 across versus if we can fit 3 across, it will depend on what the minimum order quantity is. So if we can fit 3 across, the minimum order quantity would be 30 because that's a multiple of 3. If we can fit 4 across, it would be 32. But either way, it's going to be somewhere around 30 or 32. And then within that, if you just divide the number by 2, so say for 30, it'd be a minimum of 15 per design, or 32, 16 per design. So if anyone's ever ordered from us before, it's really similar to that of the tea towels, and then like, I don't know, like the aprons, because we fit 2 across for that. So it's very similar to that, but that's what we're here to help on those kind of things, and we can advise, you know, what we think might be best. Lovely. Okay. Is there any more questions on the runners at all? Let's have a look. Give it a second. Okay. Well, if anyone's got any questions, just pop them in and I can always go back to the runners, and I'll just give a quick debrief on the end of all the other products as well, just in case anyone's just tuning in and they've just missed them. So lovely. Right, so I'll just move these all to one side for a second. So the other thing which we've got to show is a tablecloth, and again this is huge, so I probably won't open it out to its full capacity. And apologies if you can hear beeping in the background. It's either the dishwasher or the washing machine. I've come and done this live stream at home and forgotten about all the things in the background. So yeah, this is, if I open it a little bit wider, you can see that it's folded in half there, so it's pretty big. And this is made in the same fabric which we use for like the normal home textiles. So I'll just get a bit closer just so you can get a good look at it if you can. And it's quite a nice like snowflake pattern. The reason why we chose this is because we wanted to make like a little bit of a Christmas campaign. So we're going to do a bit of a photo shoot. And we thought the tablecloth with the runner and the placemats, it all sat together really nicely because it's just like the inverted print. Then we thought, like, to break it up a bit, put a napkin on there too. So really, if you wanted to bring out like a full Christmas range, you could mix it up with the designs, like different things go together in different ways that you wouldn't usually think. I think as long as they've got like a similar colour scheme, then anything goes together really. Just quite nice. So yeah, tablecloths. Something to bear in mind for tablecloths is our max width of cloth on the whole is 150 centimetres. So the widest the tablecloth can be is 150 centimetres, but something to remember, that's when it's at its printed size, not its finished size, because when it's sewn, you'll lose sort of 2 centimetres each edge from sewing. Do you have a template for the runners? Sarah, just answer this quickly. We don't have a template as such for the runners because we tend to quote based on whatever size you require. We don't have like a set template, but if it's something that you want just to make up from a template from a size that you require just to help you with the artwork, that's absolutely fine. Just pop us an email over which size you, or give us a ring with what size you wanted, and I can get Alex from the artwork department just to make a template up, because he's probably made templates up for a few of you before, so he's quite good in that way. So yeah, max width 150 when sewn. So I'd probably work off your max finish width being probably 146 centimetres, like give or take a little bit. And then the length can be whatever you want it to be. So obviously we just quote based on whatever size you required. I've done this at 2.5 metres long, the same as the runner, just because when I said I'd done a bit of research online, and I'd seen that quite a few like shops, like mainstream shops, were selling, but their tablecloths were like 2.5 metres long. So I thought, oh, in the industry that must just be, you know, popular size. That's what we've gone for really. Not a problem, answering your questions. Any other questions, just let us know. So yeah, again, different fabric options available. You could do a linen. A linen's a really nice fabric. It's a little bit more of an expensive base than the cotton Panama, but if it's something that you wanted to go for, then it is a really nice base. The linens that we stock is Wexford. So we've got a bleached Wexford and an actual Wexford. The other thing to bear in mind with linens is the width is slightly narrower, but we can tell you all that information on an inquiry. So yeah, is there any other questions? Don't think so. Lovely. So yeah, just loads of different options. And again, we can package all these with belly bands as well. So you could be selling Christmas products that are all nicely packaged, much better than I've just folded that then. All nicely packaged with like a nice belly band around it, or a biodegradable plastic wrap. So yeah, that's something to bear in mind as well, all the packaging options, which I will go on to in a second. Something which I did want to discuss is finishes. So something that we developed in lockdown, because in lockdown we did quite a lot of face masks for customers and then for the NHS as well, where we had to have certain properties on the masks which made them like industry standard, let's say. So one of the things that we did is we added a water repellent coating to our fabrics once printed. So the way it works is, so when we go ahead and print, we print the fabric, we print the designs onto the fabric using, digital printing machines. We then feed the fabric through the steamer. From that, we then feed the fabric through the wash range, and any unfixed dyes and inks are washed off. In the wash range, the fluorocarbon worked by adding, so fluorocarbon is the chemicals which we use for the finish. It's no nasty chemicals, it's just chemicals that form this water repellent finish, which we can send details over for which, what it contains. But just to give you a quick visual, I'll just come close, just put this in my pocket. Just 1 second. So how it works is water just beams off the cloth. So this was great for face masks because you could, you didn't need to wash them really. It was great. So if I show you without pouring water everywhere, can you see that? Yeah. So if I put some water on there, just beams off. Yeah, if you can see that, it just beams off. I've got water everywhere now, so just 1 second. But yeah, water just beams off. So from that, it was great for face masks. And once you know, everything sort of calmed down with COVID, and we, you know, hopefully are back to what we like to call normal, and we thought, why not add this to our usual home textiles range? So we thought it would be great for, you know, tablecloths, table runners, aprons even, or like placemats, napkins, anything that's going to come into contact with a potential spill. So if you think like the table's set up for Christmas Day, you've got your tablecloth, the runner, the placemats, the napkins and everything, and someone accidentally spills a glass of wine or water or whatever you drink on Christmas Day, then if it's got that coating on, you can just brush it off. Like the item, you know, it's salvageable. It's not, you know, it's not ruined. So it's great, really. And we thought, you know, why not bring this into the Christmas products? Something to bear in mind with the finish is because it has to go through this extra process, we do require a minimum of 50 metres on the print run. Now, that's not to say it's 50 metres of placemats or just 50 metres of tablecloths. You could split it up across different designs. So we just need to make sure in one order, say someone orders, they're ordering tablecloths and aprons and whatever they want to order. Across that, overall, in total, it's 60 metres. So really, it's not like that much you're committing to. And the way in which the pricing works for it is it's an additional £2.50 per metre. So say you fit 2 aprons, which we do, we fit 2 aprons in a metre. That £2.50 is divided by the 2 aprons, so it just adds that a little bit extra onto the unit price. But you know, we can help with the yield and how best to lay products up for best price utilisation. That's not a problem at all. In terms of like the colour, it doesn't shift the colour as far as I'm aware. It's just like an extra coating that's attached to the fabric, that's on the fabric. We've got swatches like I showed here, which we can send out to you all if you're interested, and just to see, you know, if it's something you'd like on your, you know, your normal home textiles range maybe. If anyone's got any questions on that, just let us know. I have gone through all the products now, so if there's anything that you wanted me to go into a little bit more detail on, or if you missed anything from the start of the stream, just let me know and I can go back over, just to, you know, quickly go over now. We discussed stockings in cotton and in velvet with poplin linings. Again, velvet, you can be using it for cushions, wash bags, all sorts of different things. Obviously the cotton, Panama, we tend to use it for home textiles usually. Poplin linings, we tend to suggest that for, you know, it's nice for linings, but as a standard, it tends to be like a dressmaking fabric. So it's quite nice and breathable, nice and lightweight. The same for the sacks. So the same fabric which we've used there. So just hold them up again so you can see them. Black and white cord. Artwork size of around 50 by 75, so quite a nice generous size. That's those. The reason why I've got so many is because we're going to do like take a few pictures on like a table. So I've got like a full tableware set printed. But placemats. So like I said, it's 2 prints back printed so that you can have a front and a back. We then sew them and then fold them the other way round, so it just creates more like rigid edges. So they're just a little bit more durable for, you know, use them as a placemat. So that's those. We've discussed as well table runners. So like I said, bespoke to order, no set templates, whatever size you require, but we've been recommending a 40 by 250. So if you want us to draw that up as a template, let us know in the comments and we can get that sorted back on our side. Not a problem. Like I said, the tablecloth, sort of around about size of 150 by 250 printed size. You'll use a few centimetres each edge. So like I said, if you want us to draw some templates up for them, not a problem. And then quickly just to go over these, this is the napkins. So we've done napkins for a few years now. You know, we can package them in sets if you wanted to. 100% cotton as the examples are here, but you can customise the options. And again, All the artworks here are using pattern design, which is available on our website. If you were struggling with the artwork side of things, or you just wanted to have something a little bit different for your Christmas range, or any range for that matter, then just have a look. And what it is, when you go on the website, you can go on there and it has like a product code above it. So if you just like reference the product code, and if you had any particular requirements on like scale or anything like that, then just let us know. But you know, we're only a phone call away. We can help with all those things. Now, if anyone's got any other questions, just let us know. But I think that's around about everything, unless anyone's got anything in particular they'd like to ask. Now, I've never done anything like this before, so I hope I didn't speak too quickly or was confusing or anything like that. So if you were unsure on anything, just give me a ring on the office line tomorrow and things will be a little bit more calm, and I'll probably be able to explain things a little bit more clearly. But yeah, I think we're finished. Thank you everybody for joining in, and hopefully that answers some questions about any new products or, you know, any Christmas inquiries that you had in mind. So thank you.